Hey everyone, this is Ashwin and welcome to the next installment in the Design Patterns series. Now, in the previous session, we left off with the inner static helper class Singleton. And what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly have a look at how we can make a normal singleton serializable. So it's very easy. You just make it a serializable class. And all you have to do for that is you have to say implements the serializable interface, right? So there we go, that is now serializable, and we will also just generate a random serial version UUID. Okay, so now we'll get rid of this. This is from our previous tutorial. Now let's test that. Now how do we check whether the serializable object is still the same object that we had serialized once we try to deserialize it? So let's go ahead and do that. So for that, what we can say is file output stream, and I'll say FP for that, just file output stream, and I'll say new file and I'm going to call this file out.obj. I can give it any unique extension, but I'm just calling it out.object or obj or whatever. And I will also create an object output stream, calling it object output. I'll call it out, a new object output stream, and I'll say FP there. Control Shift O to get all the dependencies in. And then what I can go ahead and do is I'll say out.write object. Now I have to put my object in there, so let's go ahead and create again another basic singleton. Again, bs equals new basic singleton. What am I doing? Habits. Basic singleton dot get instance. There we go. And I will also print out bs.hashcode. Okay. All right. Now we're writing that object, which is called bs, and then I'll just say out.close. Oops. Now we'll create a file input stream. And what I'll say is I'll create a new object of basic singleton. Basic singleton bs new equals, and now I will cast in.read object to a basic singleton. So there we go. Oops, singleton. Alrighty. So now let's have a look at the hash code for bs new. and we want to see whether it's the same, which means that is it the same object. So the file, is it returning the same object that we stored inside it? And no, unfortunately it's different. So basically, when we serialize an object, what we are actually doing is we're destroying the object and putting it in a file, and when we deserialize it, we're actually creating a new object. So that is our problem now. So what we can do is we can simply overcome that by having a method here that I can say private object read resolve that will return our instance. Alright, so that I'm creating in our basic singleton. Now if I go ahead and do the same thing, it should be the same, and there we go. So this helps in persisting the object when deserializing, right? But now again, so many complications, so many ways of doing it. So there is another way yet to do it, to create a singleton, and this is by far the simplest implementation of the singleton, and I will show you exactly how it works just now. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a singleton as an enum, and when we do that, now enums, so I'll just call it the enum singleton. So if and all I have to give it is an instance. Now because I have an instance in it, that's all I need. This is our singleton, guys. Pretty crazy, huh? So let's test that out. So everywhere where I have basic singleton, now I'll make it an enum singleton, and I will say enum singleton, and I can just get the instance, and the rest is fine. And over here again, when I recreate it, I'll get the enum singleton. Now the good thing about this is that an enum, one thing, it is guaranteed to be thread safe by the Java virtual machine. So it is thread safe by default. So the enum creation and instances of enums will all be statically created, and they will be thread safe. So that's a guarantee you get with enums. And another thing is that they are normally and automatically serialized, which means that we don't have to do anything to make sure that our enum singleton is in fact the same when we serialize or deserialize, and we can see that here. There we go. It's the same object, the enum. And the implementation is as simple as just having an instance, and this implementation really is just this line here, this one here. So it's statically generating an instance of the enum singleton type, and then if you have multiple methods in there, you could use those methods by referencing to this instance, right? So this is by and far the simplest way of defining an enum. So there you have it, guys. That was our enum singleton, and that is the final implementation of singletons that I am personally aware of. So if there are any, let me know. Put it down in the comments, and I will be sure to check it out, and I'll be sure to develop another video on it. In the next video, we'll be having a look at the factory pattern, and that is yet another creational design pattern. So we'll have a look at that next video. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you like it, and this is Ashwin signing off.